Hello and welcome to Between Two Electrodes, an educational series for energy professionals. I'm your host, Jennifer Alfson, Product Marketing Manager at Fluence. In each series, I'll interview subject matter experts on an interesting industry topic. Our first series is on safety of battery energy storage systems. I'm joined by Paul Hayes, Fire Protection Engineer and General Manager at American Fire Technologies, and Eli Bashevkin, Principal Enclosures Engineer at Fluence. Before we jump into the first question, Paul, can you share a bit about your background in fire safety?
Hey, good morning, Jennifer. Thank you for the time. My name is Paul Hayes. I'm a fire protection engineer with American Fire Technologies. My background is on batteries. I'm a principal member of 855, the battery standard in the world, although I do not speak for NFPA. So I thank you for giving me 4 hours to talk about batteries here. Just
Thanks so much for joining us. Let's start off with our first question. What is the difference between UL 9540 and UL 9540A?
So they get lumped in together because there's a committee that manages both, but 9540 is the testing standard for UL, kind of like listing your toaster. Everything that goes into your system has to be confirmed that it works together. 9540A is a burn test, and what it does is it takes the cell, burn it, see what happens, takes a module, burn it, see what happens, take a rack or unit, burn it, see what happens. Take an installation, burn it, see what happens.
If a product is UL 9540 certified, what does that mean?
It means that you've taken all your components, rack level, battery, BMS, and input it into UL to confirm that everything functions and works the way it should. And if I compare it to like a toaster, it doesn't guarantee that you may not have a problem, but what it guarantees is that all the pieces and parts function the way they're intended and designed to.
What is a large-scale fire test, and how does that differ from UL 9540A?
So the 9540A kind of has a limit to what your expectations are. Your safety systems are not necessarily engaged when you go to a large-scale test. So the new codes are coming out, and what they're defining it as is large-scale fire and explosion test. Because in all honesty, we really need to look at fire. We need to look at explosion. We also want to make sure your safety systems are functioning properly. And in my mind, the most important one is to make sure your safety systems function. So getting to a large-scale test gives you a little bit of room outside of 9540A to incorporate some of those safety functions and operationally to see how all the containers interact together to give you an idea of like a site-wide condition versus just taking a container as it exists in a vacuum and seeing what happens. So to me, the large-scale test functions to give you a little bit more idea of what happens around it during an event.
Thanks, Paul. That's a wrap for our first part on UL 9540. Check out our next video on fire testing. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful.